And perfect. So we're on another recording. We're still on the same Twitch. We've had a decent amount of viewership actually. I think we hit up to 5. So very good. So, but guys, so one thing I want to mention about the recent issue with Venezuela and why I do not believe it's going to be a big effect, especially in the Canadian oil market, is firstly is this and I'm gonna go over all my points. Then you can talk about the points, and we'll do this in between 10
No,
15 minutes.
the stage is yours. I've done plenty. I think it's
No,
your
no,
turn to show the viewer
but
what
Ahmed, the reason why I wanted to do this is I need your optimism and I need your pessimism. I need you to be realistic
whatever
in
I
this.
can add.
Uh-huh.
Whatever I can add, I will.
All right.
Well,
So,
thank you.
firstly,
I
the
hear it.
first thing that I'm hearing, guys, is because USA is going to be technically taking over Venezuela, as what it says. We don't know if that's true or not. They are going to now make oil so productive that it's going to destroy the Canadian markets for oil. I'll tell you this is not the case at all. Firstly, is what has happened every time the USA has been into a foreign country whose religion and culture do not match the USA. I'll tell you what, Afghanistan. May I need to say more? After a decade there, they have not done anything in civil power over there. They have left it because, of course, they messed it up. Now, why did they do in the first place? I'm not here to talk about that. I'm just here to talk about their rule over Afghanistan, trying to put a democracy in there as what they said they were trying to do. So if they were trying to do the
Interesting. Yeah.
exact same thing in Venezuela, guess what? It's going to go the complete counterclockwise. You can't go to India and turn it into Canada. All right, you can bring India here, and then you have a third world country, or you can take the people who are educated, take the people who want to assimilate into Canadian culture. They can do it, but you cannot go to their country and tell them, hey, you're an American citizen now. First of all, you would not do that because, of course, the USA does not want every Venezuelan person becoming a US citizen. It is not going to become the 51st state. Now, that goes to be the power of management there. The second issue is oil will cost so cheap, it doesn't make sense to buy Canadian oil. First of all, you have seen countless times, countless articles from Danielle Smith herself saying how cheap we give oil to the USA. We give it to them substantially cheaper. The same crude oil you get in Venezuela, you can get here in Alberta, and we give it to them substantially cheaper than the market rate because they're our number one trading partner. And that's why they consistently keep buying oil and gas from us. How cheap do you think you can make oil? But you can make it cheap if you want. You can make it for free. But guess what? Businesses are the ones that do it. They don't run off of free. Now, let me ask you a question. Is it faster and easier and less pricey to get oil from a oil rig with the oil pipe? Or is it more costly and more ineffective to put it on a ship and sail it halfway across the ocean to, or like a decent amount of distance to the USA? Guess what? Every single time, putting it on a boat and shipping it costs a lot more and is a way less effective than a pipeline. You can't put a pipeline in the ocean. It's going to rupture. Many things are going to happen.
I like I
Yeah.
like your concept. I have a question to just quickly say. There is a company that is on the S&P 500 exchange. What's available to the American, priced differently. It's about 70 cents to a dollar difference than when you go on mainland Taiwan.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're talking about here is intrinsic value,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, sorry.
No worries, no worries.
So, intrinsic value proposition. You're observing things from a very simple logic, not
Mm-hmm.
from this is a value proposition proposed by a certain company. Because you could have that dissonance of actual intrinsic value.
Mm-hmm.
They could just upsell you, and the cost for them to put it on a boat could eventually be actually more efficient dollar wise
Mm-hmm. It makes
than
sense.
getting it from
But then
a pipe.
I have a complete argument. And then here's a third point.
You're right. I agree with you.
Yeah. Here,
That is the best way to look at
yeah.
things. Yeah.
But here's the third thing. Now here's the third thing. Here's the third thing. And there's going to be two more points. The third point is this. First of all, Venezuela has not been a proper functioning economy for a while. Their oil issues are completely very wrecked compared to the Canadians. For example, what I'm talking about is efficiency for oil production is very difficult. They have very bad efficiency right now. They may have the most amount of oil possibly in the world right now as measured. However, getting that oil out of the ground, it takes many months to years. And guess what? With inefficient technology and inefficient ways that they have not been maintaining their equipment, it takes a lot
Bluff.
longer. Exactly.
It's a bluff.
So here's another thing. For you to be able to get this oil and gas out of the ground, it's going to cost you hundreds of millions to billions of dollars, which Trump has
Have you
initially
seen the
said.
risk on assets?
Yes. Well, here, I'll
Risk on
finish with this
assets.
and I'll refer back
Yeah.
to that. So it takes a lot of money to get this oil out of the ground. I don't. If you don't know anything about crude oil, guys, you have to pump steam into the ground to push it up so you can inject it out. So it's a lot different than USA oil. So let's say it's going to take you 3 to 5 years to fully fix all this stuff, to make it efficient, to make it really, really good. Chevron, Shell, all your big gas companies are going to go in there and do homework with it again. Here's the other issue. How long does USA have total control of Venezuela? Guess what? It may not even be a month. It may not even be a week. It may be 2 years. It may be 3 years. Donald Trump is not going to be a president in 3 years from
We
now.
have 3 months. We
Yeah.
have 3 months right now.
Yeah. Donald Trump is not going to be.
Confirmed.
Yeah. Donald Trump is not going to be in office 3 years from now. All right. Now, if you want to say, oh, he's going to try to stay, whatever you want to say, but he is not going to be in office 3 years from now. Venezuela, I can promise you one thing: no other country is going to be trying to repeat Afghanistan. So so a majority of the people in the USA are not going to be trying to keep Venezuela on lock with the USA. They might have a very good agreement for selling oil, but guess what? That's 5 to 10 years away. By that time,
Let me
the
add.
Canadian
Let me
economy,
add to the.
yeah,
Let me add perception. I saw this research paper that might. This information might come up as important. Maybe
hmm
it doesn't. Opium,
hmm
the plantations.
yeah,
Opium has been reduced as soon as they left.
hmm
So there's some free, journalists suggesting that America partakes in drug trafficking business, and they used Afghanistan as a opium
yeah.
related place.
Again, many things,
Yeah.
right? But we can completely see that them being there has not helped the economy go crazy. Afghanistan is not a tourist
Yes,
destination. It has not helped
that's
out.
true.
Same thing's gonna happen with Venezuela. Venezuela people do not want to be Americans. They might, but Americans do not want Venezuelan people to be Americans. And I can tell you one thing: the political system and pretty much every climate in the entire world does not want America to be in Venezuela. So whether they stay there for 3 months, 6 months, or a year, they
I
do
need
not
I need
have
one.
enough time.
I love what you're saying.
Yeah,
Love what you're saying. I need you to frame it in time, money, value.
yeah. Well, I'll tell you this:
So explain
in
what the
mhm.
TMV. What does T stand
the
for?
return on investment is not there.
Yes.
The return on investment is not even close. Because if you're talking about 5 to 10 years now, all these companies that are
Yes.
going to be drilling need to have some sort of reassurance that hey, you're going to hold
So what's
control over
what's
this.
wrong?
Mhm.
What's wrong with saying 17 or 19 trillion dollars of value has just been added to the basically U.S.
You
Department of
can't get
whatever?
the thing out in time. If you
That's
can't
it, the,
inject, if you can't get
the
out the
T.
oil and gas out in time, then you don't have no time. Then
What do
you don't have money.
what do the highest quants are in investment strategies and so
Yes.
on, and they look at data on interest rates.
Yes.
Interest rates have to do with time, money, value.
Mm-hmm.
And usually there's a lag. If there's high interest, there's a lag in
Mm-hmm.
liquidity.
Mm-hmm.
This Rab is a very solid argument.
Mm-hmm. I
And
have
when
one
you frame
more. I
it,
have one more. All right, and
yeah,
you're gonna love this last one. Okay, Ahmed, have you filled up your gas recently?
yeah,
Yes. Okay. Have you noticed how cheap oil is right now in Alberta?
fuck,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's under a dollar. Listen, guys, it's cheap everywhere. Oil is abundant right now. And one thing you have to understand is this. I'm gonna tell you this right now. Oil, let me tell you something. If Ahmed, whether oil is cheap, whether oil is expensive, guess what Ahmed has to do for his gasoline powered vehicle? He has to fill the gas. He has no choice. So, do you know how oil companies make money? They make money when gas is high up, not when gas is low. When gas is low, companies are still pumping out the same amount of oil from the ground. However, now they make less money on each bucket.
But
So companies
wait a
make.
sec, bro. Wait a sec. I like your ideas, man, but
Mhm.
I want to see what you think of. Some companies actually are restricted through SEC, Security Exchange Commission.
Yes, and OPEC and everything, right?
Are they
But what I'm
are
trying
they
to say right
being
now is
monitored?
there is super cheap amounts of oil. So let me ask you a question: if you can get super cheap amounts of oil, what do you think happens when you reintroduce? Let's say USA is able to do everything to Venezuela's oil right now and start selling it. You sell it
Yeah.
for dirt cheap. It's already dirt cheap. Oil and gas is already dirt cheap. Companies right now in
So
oil and gas are struggling. They make money.
information you provided, how does it play out in geopolitics?
Okay,
Canada is what you're talking
yeah,
about, but I don't know how
Canada
it
right
fits in.
now is trying to buy, is selling oil and gas overseas, and they're making contracts for it. So in the next 5 to 10 years, the USA will not be the only reliant, pretty much
We're
superpower that's
globalized.
going to
We're
exactly.
globalized.
And Alberta has the third largest oil reserves also in the world, so it's substantially there, right? So when you're talking about
So no
how
sweat.
many to this, exactly. So
No
there's
sweat on the
no.
Canadian oil
Well,
and
I
gas.
can I can tell you one thing right now. Go look at the USA stock market. The stock market this today has gone up. Our cat went up
Yeah,
15% today. What I'm
there's a
trying to
little
say is,
problem here. There's a problem here
uh
because risk on assets
huh.
and similar to the stock market, there's a flow of capital, low risk, high risk, right?
Yes, yes.
The high risk assets have pumped like crazy, and I've
Uh-huh.
been observing them.
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin went back into the
Mm-hmm.
90s.
Mm-hmm.
XRP's
95, I
back
believe,
to
as
above
this
two
video.
dollars.
Yeah.
But what if what you're saying is basically short the market because the time money value proposition of extracting oil is just not there?
You could. It's, again, there's many strategy to play, right? The thing is, oil and gas, the problem with oil and gas, why I don't short oil and gas, is OPEC.
Not oil and gas, not risk on assets are the first to
Yeah,
die.
yeah, well,
So you short the risk on
that's literally what
assets.
happened in the 2008 short, right? The main thing that people need to understand that I want to mention is The biggest issue, all right, that with oil and gas is it's OPEC. Literally, countries choose how much oil and gas to ship, how much oil and gas to sell, how much to dig, and so you just can't be reliant on it to make sure that hey, this is a good investment, or I should short this because OPEC could say something tomorrow and change it.
Here's the thing. People are insane. Here's the truth. You understand that logically you can extract the oil and gas, but the market behaves in ways that are illogical. Risk on assets still went up.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't give a shit whether they
Yeah.
didn't give a shit whether you could extract the. So even if you short, there is that element
Mm-hmm.
of
Of you just
getting a
getting
poor
exactly.
result.
Exactly, you just get messed. So what I do in this case scenario is stop stressing. This is literally the thing that people take advantage
Buy
of.
3x
Yeah,
leverage
exactly,
upside
exactly. This is
because
literally what. This is literally what.
you're AI centric. You're
Uh-huh.
AI centric.
Uh-huh.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
I
thinking.
think I think this year, if I have to put like my components to it, I would say what I'm hoping for this year is to see actual S&P 500 companies that are not the ones producing AI utilize AI in a better way, right? I want to see how efficiency gets, right?
Those motherfucking
Yeah,
robots.
exactly. Yeah, if you see robots coming out and now AI is obviously
See
making these,
Elon, see Elon talk about his robot.
yeah. They're
That's
super.
scary.
Well, I mean, Tesla at this moment in time, everybody is just thinking of it as a robotics company now, right? They're not trying to make cars to compete with BYOD. I don't know if you noticed, but Tesla's not.
You
They're
don't
trying
have
to do self driving. They're trying to do taxis, and then they're trying to build robots, right? So yeah, I think the
to.
actual selling car portion is gone.
The guy doesn't care about Earth. He doesn't care what car. He wants to go to space. Oh, we know
Exactly.
that.
Hmm. But
And
yeah,
these
guys.
cars' ascension were to be in space, right? And there's a
Uh
theory, but he wants to become interstellar. Like when you see him, what he's passionate about, what he loves, he wants to better humanity.
huh.
But there's a dissonance of logic here.
Hmm.
When the AI boom happened, we had some productivity with LLMs, large language models, automation, but then it died down.
Hmm.
People started to make cat videos, and
Exactly, right.
do you see?
So you
Do
need
you
to
see
see.
like
Yeah,
if you see like
even
robots just become personal massage
bro.
therapists, like
Well, OpenAI was talking about like adult service, like adult
oh,
ways of doing it, right?
let's not
So
go down that
yeah,
rabbit hole.
you know right away. Like obviously, there's gonna be a lot of money in that industry, but you know right away, like why are they talking about this? It's because they're running out of applications for themselves. But businesses still, we have to see exactly how this infiltrates businesses. Like for example, Palantir. It is relatively known at this point that when Palantir comes into any business and they help it out and they get their data like centralized and everything properly,
Oh, they
the
rate it. Sorry.
exactly the business becomes very very effective. And so there is true implications of AI. You can also see this also with Renaissance technology. One of the reasons why the Medallion Fund performed so well is because Jim Simmons was working on AI in the 1980s. Right, and that's one of the portions that they used, right? So you know how advanced their AI is, right? You never know. I don't
Yeah.
know unless you're in the fund. But yeah, guys, listen, we're gonna cut the video here.
Yeah.
We've been a long video. Enjoyed every moment of it. But thank you guys for tuning in and have a great rest of your day, guys.
Next time will be better. Subscribe.
Oh,
We'll get a way more
100%.
polished image for you guys. Thank you for watching.
Bye, guys.